What do you do when you catch your icy, high-powered director of engineering secretly grooming a cattail during her lunch break? As the only programmer at the company who knows that Sarah Vance turns into a feline for 3 days every month, I was forced to sign a confidentiality agreement for glorified litter scoopers. Since then, my life has gone completely off the rails. She started wrapping that tail around my wrist during board meetings, plastered the break room with "Do not feed Chris Young" signs, and after leaving a possessive bite mark on my collarbone during the company retreat, she drunkenly fished out a collar. "Chris, from now on, you have to call me Mistress." Meow. One, I'm Chris Young, a standard-issue backend developer. I never imagined my quiet corporate existence would be shattered by a chance encounter on the roof of our San Francisco office building. That day started like any other. I grabbed a burrito from the food truck downstairs and snuck up to the roof deck to eat in peace. I was mid-bite, scrolling through Reddit, when I heard a strange noise, the rustle of fabric mixed with a soft, rhythmic purr-purr sound. "Hello, someone there." I looked up, alert, and followed the noise behind the massive HVAC units in the corner. Then I saw the sight that would permanently alter my worldview. Sarah Vance, our terrifyingly competent, notoriously cold director of engineering, was standing with her back to me. Sprouting from the top of her head was a pair of fluffy cat ears, and extending from her lower back was a black and white tail, swishing happily side to side. She was holding a fine-toothed comb, meticulously grooming the fur on the tail. "Moreau," she let out a cute, high-pitched sound that was completely at odds with her Iron Lady reputation. My burrito hit the concrete with a wet thud. Sarah's cat ears shot up. She spun around, her golden pupils vertical slits in the bright California sun. For a second, we just locked eyes. Her expression shifted from relaxed bliss to sheer, unadulterated horror. Chris Young." Her voice trembled. Her tail puffed up to twice its normal size. Director Vance? Is this cosplay?" I chuckled nervously, backing away as my brain blue-screened. Sarah's face turned red faster than a Tesla in ludicrous mode. She frantically tried to flatten the ears against her head with her hands, but they just twitched indignantly and popped right back up. "You didn't see anything," she hissed, baring 2 sharp little fangs that glinted dangerously. Just then, the notification chime on my phone signaled the end of lunch. Sarah's face went pale. Oh no, the transformation timer is up." She started spinning in circles, her tail slapping the ground anxiously. "Transformationista." Before I could finish, Sarah was engulfed in a soft, popping cloud of white light. When the light faded, the woman was gone. Standing in a pile of crumpled business casual clothing and a dropped iPhone was a pure white cat with black-tipped ears and a black-tipped tail. The cat, no, Sarah, shot me a look of pure resentment. She clamped her jaws around her keycard lanyard, then frantically used her paws to shove her clothes behind the ventilation duct. My understanding of reality officially crumbled. "So, you're a cat girl?" I asked, squatting on the ground, having a staring contest with the white cat hiding behind the ductwork. The cat, Director Vance, nodded reluctantly. Her golden eyes were filled with humiliation. "And for 3 days around the full moon, you can't control the shift?" She nodded again, ears drooping. "And nobody at Tech One knows?" This time, she lunged forward and batted my face with her paw pads, clearly communicating. "You asked too many questions." I sighed. I gathered up her clothes and stuffed them deeper into the shadows. "Do you need help right now?" Sarah's eyes lit up. She trotted over to my feet, rubbed her head against my jeans, and looked up expectantly. "You want me to smuggle you back inside?" She nodded vigorously, tail wagging. That afternoon, the entire engineering department witnessed a miracle. Chris Young, the junior dev, walked into Director Vance's glass-walled office carrying a stunningly beautiful white cat. "Chris, are you insane? Sarah hates people in her office." My buddy Leo whispered, grabbing my arm to panic. "In my arms," Sarah hissed menacingly. Leo immediately let go and took 3 steps back. "It's fine, Leo. Director Vance asked me to cat sit." I lied, forcing a smile before closing the office door on their shocked faces. The moment we were inside, Sarah leapt onto her Herman Miller chair, licked a paw elegantly, and motioned for me to lock the door. "Director Vance, I stood awkwardly by the desk. What do we do now? You're. She tilted her head, hopped onto the desk, swiped a post-it note, and, I swear this wasn't a hallucination, gripped a pen between her paws. She wrote, "Wait for me after work. Tell no one." I stared, slack-jawed. Cats can write. Sarah seemed amused by my expression. She flicked her tail smugly and wrote another note. "Go buy cat food and a litter box. Put them in your car." "Wait, why me?" She jumped onto my shoulder, nuzzling her furry head against my cheek while letting out a sugary, vibrating purr. "Phoenix." I folded. Who can say no to a purring cat, even if that cat is your demon boss? That evening, I had the most surreal shopping experience of my life, buying a litter box for my boss. "Sir, this enclosed model prevents odor perfectly," the PetSmart employee chirped. Do you have something more executive?" I scratched my head, imagining the death glare Sarah would give a budget litter box. I ended up buying a Cat Villa luxury model with auto-cleaning sensors. It cost half my paycheck. When I got back to the car with the bags, I found a white fur ball curled up on the passenger seat. Sarah, cat mode, was fast asleep. She opened one lazy eye when I slammed the door. "I got the essentials." I held up the bag. She sniffed it, then disdainfully pushed the bag of kibble away with a paw. "Meow," she barked, hopping onto my lap and batting at my phone. "You want to order takeout?" She nodded. Then, to my horror, she used her toe beans to unlock my phone, open Uber Eats, and order $60 worth of premium sashimi. To my address. "Wait, why my apartment?" Sarah blinked innocently, then started kneading my thigh, purring like a diesel engine. "You're planning on staying with me, aren't you?" She stopped kneading and tilted her head, her golden eyes flashing a dangerous warning that said, "Just try and say no." And that is how I, Chris Young, accidentally started cohabiting with my cat girl boss. The next morning, I woke up to a wet, sandpaper sensation on my cheek. I opened my eyes to find Sarah, back in human form, but still sporting the ears and tail, licking my face. "Director Vance?" "Morning, Chris." Her smile was sweet, but her eyes were predatory. "From today on, you are my exclusive caretaker." "Wah," she leaned in close. I could smell vanilla and milk. "If you tell anyone, or try to run." Her nails, suddenly sharp as razors, traced a line down my throat. "I'll turn you into my personal scratching post." I gulped. That was definitely the most terrifying confession I've ever received. "Chris Young, my office." Sarah's voice cut through the open floor plan like ice. The entire team gave me sympathetic looks. "R.I.P. bro," Leo muttered. "I heard she killed 3 project proposals this morning." I walked into the office I now knew too well. Since discovering her secret a month ago, I was a regular fixture here. "You're late." The moment the door clicked shut, a white blur tackled me. Sarah was clinging to me, ears twitching with excitement, tail wrapped tight around my wrist. "Director, people outside can hear." "Call me Sarah?" She pouted, then pulled a bento box from behind her back. "I made lunch." "Eat." I opened a box. It was gourmet sandwiches and fruit cut into little paw shapes. Some were jagged, but the effort was obvious. "You made this?" "Of course." She puffed out her chest, then narrowed her eyes. "Or would you rather eat someone else's cooking?" "No, no way." I stuffed a sandwich into my mouth. "It's delicious." Sarah beamed, her tail swaying. She knelt on the chair beside me, watching me chew, wiping crumbs from my lip. "You look so cute when you eat, Chris," she murmured. Then she opened her mouth. Uh, feed me." She pointed at her mouth. "This is really unprofessional. Shall I go ask Leo to feed me?" She made a move to stand up. "Wait." I grabbed a piece of melon and held it to her lips. She bit it, her tongue deliberately grazing my fingers. "Your fingers taste like lunch." She licked her lips, looking at me with half-lidded eyes. My heart hammered against my ribs. Just as the tension peaked, a knock came at the door. Director Vance. The quarterly reports are here." It was Leo. Sarah's face snapped from sultry to stone cold instantly. She leapt away, straightening her blazer. "Enter." Her voice was pure corporate frost. Leo walked in and paused, seeing the bento box. Interrupting. "Chris is beta testing a new food delivery partner for me," Sarah lied without blinking. "Leave the report and go." Leo dropped the files, shooting me your doomed look before fleeing. The second the door latched, Sarah was back on me. Keep feeding me, she purred. Sarah, we're gonna get caught. Call me Sarah. She pinched my cheek. Besides, she grinned wickedly, pulling a leather collar from her desk drawer. Wear this, and no one will dare touch you. I squinted. The tag read, property of Sarah Vance. That is a lot. If you don't wear it, I'll kiss you in front of the whole engineering team, she threatened, though the tips of her ears turned pink. I compromised. I wore the collar around my wrist like a bracelet. Sarah pouted, but accepted it. Her condition? I had to be her human pillow during lunch naps. So my life became coder by day, body pillow at noon, cat butler by night. The weirdest part? I was started to like it. 9 to company retreat was when I truly understood the extent of Sarah's possessiveness. Chris, truth or dare? The marketing girls waved me over to their table at the hotel bar. I started to head over, but the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I turned to see Sarah holding a glass of wine. She was smiling, but her aura was sub-zero. I knew that under her dress, her tail was puffed out. I should pass. I backed away. Don't be lame. Jessica from HR grabbed my arm. One drink. The temperature in the room seemed to drop 10 degrees. Sarah materialized beside us, prying Jessica's fingers off my arm with a terrifyingly polite grip. Chris is on my team, she said, voice silky smooth. If you want to play with him, you ask me first. Jessica looked like she'd seen a ghost. Sorry, director. Sarah nodded, then linked her arm through mine, resting her head on my shoulder. Chris, let's go sit over there, okay? The entire bar went silent. I wanted to dissolve into the floor, but Sarah's nails were digging into my waist. Sure, sound great, I squeaked. Then we sat in a dark corner booth. Sarah draped herself over me, her tail escaping her hem to wrap around my ankle. Chris is mine, she whispered into my ear, hot breath sending shivers down my spine. No one else touches. Sarah, everyone is staring. Call me Sarah, she nuzzled my neck. Or, Mistress works too. My face felt like it was on fire. You're drunk. I am not. She slapped a pair of cat ears onto my head. Now we match. I sat there, wearing cat ears, suffering the bewildered gazes of my co-workers, while the director of engineering used me as a scratching post. Later, I had to carry her to her room. Chris, she clung to my neck. I was jealous today. I noticed. Compensation. She pointed at the bed. Sleep with me. Literally sleep. Just sleep. She blushed. For tonight. That night was torture and bliss. A drunk, clingy cat girl wrapped around me like an octopus, mumbling confessions. Strangely, it was the best sleep I'd had in years. 11 after the retreat, the office rumor mill decided we were dating. They called Sarah, your girlfriend. Chris, your girlfriend needs you in her office, became a standard phrase. Sarah went from denying it to owning it. Chris, one late night, while I was debugging code, she hugged me from behind. I like you. My hands froze on the keyboard. Sarah, call me Sarah. She rested her chin on my head. I know I'm high maintenance. I'm a cat. I'm jealous. I want to own you. Her voice got quiet. But I really like you. I turned the chair around. Her golden eyes were anxious, ears flat. I realized then that I didn't just tolerate the crazy. I loved it. I reached up and scratched behind her cat ears. I like you too, Sarah. All of you. The ears, the tail, the possessiveness. Her eyes widened. Really? Yeah. I kissed her forehead. So, want to make it official. She tackled me to the floor, rubbing her cheek against my chest. Chris is the best. I love Chris. She cheered, then paused. Does this mean I can cuddle you at work? Maybe tone it down a little? She pouted. Can we send a memo? Sure. The next day, the entire company received an email. Relationship disclosure. Vance/Young. It read like a legal contract, complete with dating clauses. And at my desk, a luxury cat bed appeared. Chris, at lunch, she curled up in the bed next to my monitor. Lap pillow time. Under the envious eyes of the office, I let her rest her head on my lap. Who can say no to a cat girl who loves you? Chris, come over for dinner tonight, Sarah whispered, leaning over my cubicle wall on a Friday. Uber Eats again? No. She slapped my wrist with her tail. I'm cooking. To thank you for taking care of me last week. Last week was a bad transformation cycle. She'd spent 3 days as a cat on my couch, and I'd been full-time staff. You're cooking. I remember the last time she tried to use a stove. The fire department came. I learned. From my mom. Katlan recipes. I blushed. Since the retreat, things had been simmering between us. Okay, do I need to bring anything? Just yourself. She winked, looking a little too mischievous. Her apartment was spotless, minus the corner filled with scratching posts. Welcome to the lair, she spun around. She was out of her work clothes, wearing an oversized white shirt. Her tail swished freely. I handed her a box from a bakery. Peace offering. My favorite. She pecked me on the cheek. The table was set. The food looked normal, except everything was shaped like a cat. Kachabed burger patillas. Kachabed salad arrangement. And this, she pointed to a decanter of pink liquid, is special fruit wine. Mom's recipe. Strawberry and catnip. Catnip. I eyed it warily. Safe for humans. She downed a glass. See, I took a sip. Sweet, refreshing. Cheers. We clinked glasses. 3 glasses later, the room was spinning. Chris, Sarah was in my lap, arms around my neck. Have another. I can't. Feeling weird. I mumbled. Usually, I can hold my liquor. Sarah's eyes were glowing. Chris, I want. She kissed me. It tasted like strawberries in trouble. Call me mistress. She whispered against my lips. Sarah, say it. Her tail brushed my throat. Mistress. She smiled, a predator looking at prey. Good boy. Tonight, you're really mine. I woke up with a headache and a heavy weight on my chest. Sarah was curled up on top of me, asleep. Memories of the night before crashed into me. My face went nuclear. Sarah stirred, blinking open her golden eyes. In morning, I stuttered. Her eyes went wide. She turned beet red and buried her face in the pillow, only her ears sticking out, twitching with shame. So embarrassing, came a muffled cry. I laughed. The dominatrix from last night was gone, replaced by the shy kitten. You were pretty bold last night. What was that about, mistress? Shut up. She covered my mouth. It was the wine. Oh, did that special wine have a little extra kick? Maybe. A little extra catnip. She admitted from under the duvet. For liquid courage. I pulled the covers down and cupped her face. Sarah, look at me. I love you. Shy or bold. You don't need potions. She looked at me, eyes shimmering. Really, really, I kissed her nose. Though, you can make me call you mistress whenever you want. Chris, she bit my shoulder, but it was gentle. Monday morning, I looked in a mirror and groaned. My neck was covered in hickeys. Sarah, look at this. She was on the bed, grooming her hand. What? They're marks. Now, everyone knows. I have a meeting. She hopped off the bed, walked over, and kissed one of the red marks. It looks good. We're going public today anyway, right? I sighed. We had agreed to stop hiding. So, I walked into Tech One with a scarf of love bites, Sarah Vance on my arm. She strutted like a queen. Holy crap, Chris. Leo dropped his coffee. You guys actually... I wanted to die. Sarah answered for me. Yes, Chris is officially my boyfriend. She hugged my waist, glaring at the room. Mine. The office exploded. I knew it. The ice queen melted. Despite the teasing, seeing Sarah so happy, ears perked, tail wagging, made it worth it. Happy, I whispered. Yes. She leaned up. Tonight, I'm marking the other side. Domestic life with a cat girl was interesting. She moved her cat tree into my living room. Nesting, she called it. She woke me up by licking my face. And the feeding, she got obsessed with feeding me. You're getting chubby, I complained, pinching my side. Soft Chris is best Chris. She snuggled into my chest. Her possessiveness dialed back, mostly because she felt secure. She even let me touch her ears, a sign of ultimate trust. 18, then, came a crisis. Month 3. Transformation is coming early. She paced the living room. But I have the pitch with the investors. Colin's sick. Can't. This deal saves the quarter. She swallowed a blue vial. Inhibitor. For my mom. It'll hold. 19, it didn't hold. At 3 p.m., Leo texted me. Code red. Conference room B. She's a cat. I sprinted. I burst into the room. 3 investors in suits sat around the table, looking confused. Sitting on the quarterly projections was a white cat, looking terrified, holding a stylus. Ah, Mr. Young, an investor said. Director Vance felt ill and said this. Cut. Would handle a demo. I took a deep breath. Yes, this is our new AI integration unit. It's a remote avatar system. I looked at the cat. She tapped a spreadsheet cell. Director Vance is highlighting the Q3 growth. I improvised. The cat meowed. She says the margins are up 15%. By some miracle, we pulled it off. The investors loved the AI cat. 20, I smuggled her out in a gym bag. Back home, Sarah, human again, cried in my arms. I almost ruined everything. You were amazing. I soothed her. You closed the deal as a cat. That's legendary. She looked up teary-eyed. Really, 21 6 months in, I decided to propose. I called her mom for advice. Silver tag and a catnip ring. Mrs. Vance told me over Zoom. Diamonds are for humans. Catnip is forever. 22, I took her to the roof where we met. Why are we here? She asked, ears twitching in the wind. I knelt down on a blanket covered in treats. Sarah, you're crazy. You're jealous, and you shed on my black hoodies. Hey, but I love you. Will you marry me? I held up a silver tag engraved Chris's girl and a ring with a compressed catnip gem. She froze. Then, unable to speak due to the surge of emotion, she tackled me and licked my entire face. Is that a yes? Idiot, she cried, hugging me. Of course. She pulled out a box too. A silver ring with a paw print inside. I got one for you too, marked for life. 23, the wedding was pure chaos. Sarah wore a dress with ear holes. Her bridesmaids were her Cat Clan cousins, all sporting tails. We played a remix of the wedding march with meows. You sure about this? I asked her at the altar. Absolutely. She grinned. When the priest said, you may kiss the bride, she licked my nose. 24 at the reception, she pulled me aside. Surprise. She held up a new bottle. Mom fixed the formula. I can control the transformation now. That's great. But, she blushed deep red. Side effect. What? She whispered in my ear. It increases fertility. My brain stopped. Sarah, are you saying? I want kittens, she purred, wrapping her tail around my leg. Chris's kittens. Can we wait until after the honeymoon? Honeymoon starts now. She jumped into my arms, bridal style. Take me home, husband. As I carried my cat girl wife to the car, her tail waging like a metronome, I knew my quiet life was gone forever, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.